Hey guys, Abraham here from Kinetic Creativity, and I'm about to show you all my first model painting and weathering project ever. So I've been watching a lot of videos over the past month on different techniques for weathering and painting and tools to use. So I went out to Hobby Lobby and bought a bunch of tools. I already had this model. It's kind of a cheap museum gift shop quality kit. It's missing a lot of details and just had some big issues. Actually, there were things mounted improperly. As you can see, this back shelf is actually upside down, so I had to cut that out, remount it. I had to cut a bunch of tabs that were on the tracks. There was just a lot of unnecessary issues. There were some really terrible seams on the turret, and this is what it looked like before I did anything to it. But it made a great starter kit, and that's why I wanted to do this as my first kit instead of going out and buying a high quality Tamiya kit. It was an easy to assemble kit. You just screw it together. It came with a little screwdriver, and I think it turned out phenomenal. So it was this really terrible green brown color with the silver tracks and bogies. This is what it looked like before I did anything to it. And then I painted everything a US dark green color. And I wanted to add a lot of character to this tank like it had been in combat. So I put a lot of messages on it that the crew would write, decorated it, muddied up the tracks and the bogies and the drive wheel. I painted them all first, but I didn't worry too much about all the cracks and crevices because I was going to just glob a bunch of, nasty browns and black brown kind of colors to give it that wet dry mud feel. Overall, the painting and weathering process went very well, considering that this was my first time doing that, and I had a great time creating the text, which I did by hand, adding the muddy tracks and drive wheels and bogies, muddying all those. I put mud up on the hull and the turret where the crew with their muddy boots would be climbing. So when you see that in the end, that is not rust. There's no rust on this tank at all. It is all mud and dirt and just wear and tear. I had to put a Kilroy was here, of course. And this side is actually a nod to the famous photograph of a Sherman Jumbo which said 1st and Bastogne on the side, and it said the 4th Armored Division. So I did On to Berlin with the 3rd Armored Division. And the 3rd Armored Division was actually the spearhead of the Normandy invasion once the forces pushed inland. Alright guys, that is it for the look at how I made this tank, and coming up next would be the photography that I took of it once I fully completed it. Enjoy!